You know, they say the key to beating multiple sclerosis is staying consistent. I mean, who would have thought? It's like that old adage, good things come to those who wait. But instead of waiting, it's good things come to those who keep their going even when their symptoms are calling their name. You think this is some sort of magical secret, but really, it just comes down to establishing solid routines. So let's get ready to embark on this thrilling saga of sweat, tears, and a whole lot of, I can't believe I used to think I couldn't lift that. Because let's face it, if I can do it, you can do it. Hey, it's Dave. As I was thinking about a topic for this video, I reached out to my friend Sonder for some inspiration. I mean, what better way to stir the creative pot than to ask someone who is navigating this MS journey? Her response struck a chord in me. She said, "Oh, heck yeah, I have an idea. Consistency. Staying consistent, finding out what you should be consistent with, and tips to help maintain that consistency." And you know what? She is totally right. I know I used to struggle with it, and I'm sure many of you do too. But imagine if we were all consistent with our meds, our foods, and our exercise routines. We probably notice a difference like the transformation I've experienced. The journey might be tough, don't get me wrong, but we've got tools at our disposal. And today, I want to share with you how to finding that consistency can lead to a profound change. Now, diving right in. I think most people believe that exercise is simply about getting your heart pumping and your blood racing. Ah, yes, the golden gate of health, right? Exercise becomes this glamorous image of losing weight, looking fabulous in clothes, and of course, flashing a smile that says, "Hey, I'm high-fiving life and you should too." Let's spill a little truth tea. For those of us with MS, it's not about aesthetics. I've learned it's all about that dedication to the routine that helps us regain function, our ability to remyelinate, and restore our nerve health. Make sure to stick around until the end because I'm going to share an intriguing piece of my journey that just might surprise you because I haven't shared it with you yet. So, where was I? Yes. Everyone seems to believe that exercise does not impact chronic disease. That belief is like a warm blanket on a cold night. Comfortable, but totally inaccurate. For many, it's the comforting thought that states, life with MS is too hard, my symptoms are too great, just take it easy, don't exert yourself. That sounds nice, doesn't it? But I never bought into that, and I never ever, well, maybe early on I did, but as time goes by, definitely not. I think back then, I initially thought, oh, I could, I think I might have. There were days I'd roll my eyes at the idea of sweating it out. For a long time, I managed to convince myself that embracing MS meant surfing on the couch while just taking naps all day long. I'd hop onto the why bother train full of fatigue and spasticity. But from one to another, trust me, I had a first-class ticket to it all. I mean, come on. I was suffering from a buffet of symptoms. You name it, I probably had it. But as you know, I'm a thinker. Then came the research. I became a self-proclaimed expert at gathering knowledge that didn't do anything for me. Just another hobby, right? As I dug deeper, it became strikingly obvious to me. The easy path wasn't going to cut it if I was to manage my MS and eventually overcome it. Spoiler alert, the more I read, the more I realized that if I wanted to feel better, I would have to ditch the couch and I'd have to start moving. But that brings the frustrating part. I quickly learned about my limitations. So many. Let's see here. Running. Complete no-go. Biking. Out of the question. And while swimming sounded serene, my rhythm and intensity were far from what I needed to stimulate remyelination. That was when I discovered the miraculous power of weightlifting. Apparently, there's this weird thing called a mind-body connection. You know, I've only said it like 1,000 times. Who knew? I had no idea I would end up working out like a beast at the gym. With some cash on hand, I splurged on a Bowflex Revolution home gym. It looked like something right out of Batman. And I'll be honest, I was downright intimidated by it at first. Eventually though, I stuck with it. And then I remember I found a Concept 2 rower and I added that to the mix. When I started it all, it felt like I was trying to train for the Olympics. But that first step, recognizing my limitation, is a crucial step because it's the first step to overcoming it. Recovery isn't a sprint. It's a marathon where you jog, walk, and then collapse into a celebratory waterbed. I was determined not to let MS define my life, and I committed myself to building a routine that could help me regain control. I never thought this whole MS recovery journey would happen overnight. It could, admittedly, feel long and treacherous, and you doubt yourself all the time. Year after year after year, I always doubted myself, but I always felt these little things that just kept me going, just fed my soul. But here's the kicker. By just starting with small steps, which I did, remaining consistent and believing in the process, you'll surprise yourself with what your mind and body can accomplish. Let's talk about the initial dose of exercise. Seriously, when I first started, lifting 15 pounds for bicep curls felt like a straining to lift a car. I was so out of shape. I don't even know how I got so out of shape back then. I mean, I walked around, I looked normal, kind of. I mean, my abilities were going out the window, but I mean, I never thought I was terrible, but I couldn't lift very much. Every single movement made every single symptom yell louder and louder to me. But here's the thing. Once I finished working out, the joy and the relief flooded in. It was like singing my favorite song while doing a happy dance in my living room. I once thought that 30 pounds was totally crazy. But guess what? Not only do I start lifting 25 pounds regularly on my lowest days, it's just the start. So let's dig into the hang-ups that might be holding some of us back from starting. The choice between working out or binge watching the latest shows can feel like a heavyweight championship fight. Let's be honest. The couch is comfy. The snacks are calling. Your symptoms feel terrible. But mentally committing yourself to a discipline and establishing a routine makes an enormous difference. I always tell you about my essential elements. I don't know if you listen to me, and I get it. Exercise is the hardest one to remain consistent with. However, it is also the most beneficial. Over the years, my variations of workouts have evolved dramatically. I've handled 10 minutes on the rowing machine, followed by some gentle 5-minute stretches. Then I've also powered through 1-minute bursts of energy like auditioning for a cartoon series. And I've also enjoyed weightlifting sessions, splitting them into waves like I was on a rehearsing for a rock concert. And you know what? There's no one-size-fits-all formula here. This is a continuous journey to discover what truly works for you. The moral of the story: sometimes when you're trying to build consistency, you also have to be patient and realistic about where you're starting from. It's all part of the journey, folks. Embracing the ups and downs and laughing along the way. Now, let's pivot again, because my consistency doesn't just stop at the gym. I've also mastered the art of meal planning. And this is important, folks. I can tell you exactly what I eat every single day, and I don't go over and under. Tracking my nutrition isn't just for giggles or jumping on a trendy diet bandwagon. No, I do it because I believe that maintaining consistency in the diet plays a significant role in my recovery. So how does it work? Believe it or not, I have 2 designated meal days. Quote, high food day and quote, low food day. Think of it as the yin and yang of meals. Understanding and automating my intake ensures I meet the dietary recommendations that has brought me to this point. I pay attention to what I'm consuming and how it impacts how I feel. My nutrition plays a substantial role in my energy levels, my ability to exercise, and ultimately in my quest to remyelinate. When I rewind to my younger years, I remember stumbling through grocery aisles like a lost tourist, not knowing what to make of everything. I absolutely had no idea what I was supposed to eat to battle MS. Fast forward to today. I now feel like a culinary expert in eating my way to an MS recovery. I could probably teach a class or at least write a cookbook titled Cooking for MS Recovery. What's on Steve's plate? Let's dive a little deeper into hydration while we're at it. This is crucial because hydration can dramatically impact our health. My hydration routine feels like an elaborate science project I am continuously conducting. After I down those first 10 ounces of water from my nascent iodine supplement in the morning, I follow up with another 10 ounces to take in my supplements, where that include potassium, omega-3 fish oil, and glycine. So starting off, first thing in the morning when I wake up, go right to the bathroom, that's 20 ounces right off the bat. Then I whip up my first protein shake, and that's another 16 ounces of water. And then, of course, the protein and everything else. And that brings my running total up to 36 ounces. But I'm just getting started. I mix up that second shake, and that's another 16 ounces, bringing my grand total to 52 ounces. Now, before I even hop onto the rowing machine or start lifting weights, I drink another 21 ounces from my trusty water bottle. That puts me at 73 ounces. And I know that sounds like a lot of water, and I over time I've built myself up to that point. But if you can't do it, I would recommend maybe cutting out that water bottle, or maybe just cutting out a shake and then doing it later on. But getting back to my routine, after a few hours of working out, I chug down another 21 ounces, which joins the total at 94 ounces. And then, just as a friendly reminder to myself, I have an alarm set for my final splash of water, with yet another 21 ounces, securing my total hydration at 115 ounces within the first 5 to 6 hours after waking. Can you believe the math? Water is practically my second job at this point. But once I'm done drinking, I'm done. I'm not even thirsty for the rest of the day. And they always say, oh, well, you should drink slow a little bit, all the time throughout the day. No, once you get the amount you need to drink, and you're good for the rest of the day. And I'm not thirsty. I mean, I drink a little bit at night, before I go to bed, to take my supplements, but I'm not thirsty when I take them. So why is maintaining hydration so important, especially to those of us with MS? Proper hydration is crucial for maintaining homeostasis in our central nervous system. Think of it as preparing the soil before planting a garden. You wouldn't just toss seeds into dry dirt and expect them to sprout up, would you? Water creates a favorable environment that nurtures all the bodily processes that support remyelination. Research shows that staying well hydrated can significantly influence the inflammatory response in our bodies, and is essential for the survival of oligodendrocyte precursor cells. I talk about it all the time. These little MVPs, most valuable players, are the champs in our quest for remyelination. the better the hydration, the better the environment for our bodies to heal. Now, let's revisit some key messages in our journey towards consistency. When you commit to something, whether it's hydration, exercise, or meal planning, you allow your body to adapt and respond. The brain is an amazing organ. It's incredibly adaptable. It's the master of adaptability. Even every time you push yourself through those reps, try another set, or focus on reaching your hydration goals, you're sending both your body and brain a message. We're in this together, and we can do this. So, what small changes can you introduce into your daily routine that could create big impacts over time? How can you enhance your hydration habits to support your overall health, especially when dealing with MS? And what's preventing you from committing to a consistent exercise routine? And how can you overcome that barrier? Remember, sharing is caring. If you found this video helpful, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with anyone you know who might be fighting the MS battle. Our community thrives on support and shared experiences, and the more we link up, the stronger we become. I want to encourage you all to truly evaluate your routines. Consistency leads to confidence. Confidence leads to momentum. Before long, I promise you, you'll find that your capabilities expand. The small victories build up to a significant transformation. And despite what the MRI might say, you'll start feeling remyelination, and then it will get to the point where you can't think of life without remyelination. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a video. Together, we are rethinking what it means to thrive with MS, one consistent day at a time. Until the next one,